What's up, duelists? Ooh, new lighting setup, trying out some new stuff. I'm going to show you guys this beautiful Relinquished deck that I've been working on for a very long time. I was going to take this to the tournament at Collectible Exchange this weekend, but too many of the cards are OCG, and it is a sanctioned shop, so I didn't want to have to pick up a bunch of English versions of the card, but I figured I'd make a video nonetheless and show you guys all my testing matches, and possibly even an 8-man tournament with the deck as well. Let's get right into it. First things first, you got to play 2-Dimensional Alchemist. I think this card is really underplayed in Edison format. I'm using the super rare Japanese ones. Shout out to, I believe, Antonio, who hooked me up with these forever ago. This card works really well with the way the deck works, and you guys will see it in the match, but I'll explain to you guys a little bit more as we get through the profile while we're playing those. We're going to be playing 1 Sangan. This card allows you to access all of your engine and all of your recursion as well. This deck has insane grind potential, and so just getting the engine going is super important. That's why we are playing the Sangan. 1 Chaos Sorcerer. This is going to be a Chaos light and dark deck. We are playing a fair bit of lights. Dimensional Alchemist works well with the Chaos Sorcerer. Not only does it recur what you banish to summon the Chaos Sorcerer, but it's a light to keep your light count high for the Chaos Sorcerer. 1 Dark Arm Dragon. You got to play Dark Arm Dragon if you're playing a certain number of darks or higher. It's just one of the best cards in the format, and it gets you free wins that you otherwise wouldn't deserve. Kappa. Plus the Secret First. If you have it, you got to play it, you know what I'm saying? Next up, 2 main deck Cyber Dragons. So a large part of this deck is about convincing your opponent to do something. Basically, that's it. Just convince them to make a play. Do something. Act first. And then you will be summoning your bigger and better thing to take advantage of your opponent's action. So that's part of the reason with the Cyber Dragons. It's also a light. It helps you against Gladiator Beasts. It helps you against Blackwings. It's not a deck dev target, which is super important for this deck because it is very weak to deck devastation virus. And it helps you deal with big wide boards like Machina Fortress, which can be an issue for Relinquished due to the hand rip effect. So this card is very important, and I think you do need it in game 1. It is weak to Royal Oppression, but outside of that, it is a very strong card. Shout out to SoCal Retro Yugs for one of these bad boys. Gorgeous ultimate rares. 2 main deck Sirocco. I don't have pretty versions of these. I don't ever really feel the need to own pretty versions of these because there aren't really that many pretty versions of these. The common is about as pretty as it's going to get outside of like a super rare. Maybe I should get super rares. Let me know in the comments which rarity of this card I should get. But this is similar to the Cyber Dragon, a non-deck dev target that's both a light or a dark. It can win games on its own. It plays well under Royal Oppression. It's good against Blackwings. It's good against Value Turbo as well. It's pretty much good against every deck that isn't Frogs specifically. But yeah, it's just a good counter offensive threat. It's good against the Alias decks. It's good against the Gladiator Beast decks. And that's really what you need. You just need counter offense and sticking big threats to force your opponent to go even bigger than the Cyber Dragon or the Sirocco. And then the Relinquished gets the sweet, juicy targets, usually like Stardust Dragon, stuff like that. Next card, 1 Gores. Again, this is just kind of a force your opponent to act. I need a prettier Gores, but the Starfoils, they're a classic for me. I love them. 1 Necrogardna, perfect tribute fodder for Relinquished if you can't find your Djinns. Again, probably need a prettier one of this, but the dual terminal does spark joy in my heart. Yeah, defend your Relinquished and defend your position. Force your opponent to make big commitments into the board. Defend your life total, then crack back with a huge Relinquished play. 3 Sonic Bird. We're going to get into the ritual packages, so this is the 3 Sonic Bird. We're also playing 3 Manju of the Bejalvin hands. I'm not sure how many hands he has. What does it say? 10,000. That's a lot of hands. Come get these hands. Anyway, these cards are the lifeblood of the deck. They're the reason the deck works. They can get you auto +1s on the summon. A lot of you guys in the comments are probably going to be asking why we're not playing Armageddon Knight. And because this deck already has a weakness to deck dev and has a weakness to pulling the rug, and Armageddon Knight is awkward with regards to speed and tempo, but we're not playing that even though we are playing Djinn and Necrogardna. These cards are much better. This is what you want to spend your turn on if you're spending a proactive normal summon. They convince your opponent to summon something that's 1500 or bigger, which allows you to sort of step up that ladder with Sirocco or Cyber Dragon, or sometimes Relinquished or Bottomless Trap Hole, that sort of thing. And yeah, you get card advantage along the way, which is really, really nice. So you got to play all 6 of those. Finding the cards are just too important. 3 of the Djinn. This guy prevents special summons. He actually has pretty good stats. 2000 defense means you can set it against Blackwings, force him to out it, and then he's a free tribute for Relinquished later. He's a dark, which is amazing. If he gets hit by deck dev, it's not even that bad. So this card is just fantastic. You max it out. It's the best card in the deck. It's the reason why this deck even works. If you summon a Relinquish using this as a tribute fodder, either from the hand, the field, or the grave, your opponent can't special summon. It's a one-sided floodgate. It's unbelievably broken. It's banned in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! For a reason. And it's the whole reason to play this deck, in my opinion. It turns Relinquished into a Christia, but one-sided Christia, because you can still special summon, but your opponent cannot. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very good. All right, and then the beauties themselves. We got 3 of this gorgeous OCG Ghost Rare Relinquish, which I didn't even know existed until I did, you know what I mean? And you guys probably are seeing this for the first time ever. Yeah, Max Relinquished. It's a Relinquished deck, and you got to play the best looking ones. So shout out the OCG for always having the best looking cardboard, hands down. To go along with that, 2 Black Illusion Ritual. We are using the nice little extended arts from the OCG. This one is rather miscut, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys can see how chungus that edge is, but yeah, Black Illusion Ritual. You don't need a 3rd because you can get it back with Preparation of Rites, but you do need 2 because sometimes you mill one and you need to search another one with Sonic Bird, or you've already have one, you just need your Sonic Bird to plus, that sort of thing. 2 Preparation of Rites. We are using the reprint Secret Rares. I think they look the best, personally. I really do like the reprint Secret Rares. I think new Secret Rares look exceptional on a lot of cardboard, but let me know in the comments if you think that there's a better looking Preparation of Rites out there. These ones just look nice to me, and it's cool to see the Secret Rare Rainbow on like the dark part of the cards. It adds an extra layer of depth to the darkness on the artwork that would otherwise be kind of flat. 1 Foolish Burial. This is just Djinn number 4. You play this instead of Armageddon because Armageddon takes your normal summon. If you have Armageddon Knight in your hand and you summon that and you send a Djinn, you still need natural 2 pieces, Black Illusion Ritual and Relinquish, to even summon that Relinquish that turn using the Djinn. So it just sets you a turn behind for no reason, and it doesn't help you respond to threats, really. It forces you to consider Garnets like Plague and stuff, and I think this is just the best way to do it. Use the spell card, get the Djinn, summon the Manju, search the missing piece, and then lock your opponent same turn. So you got to play Foolish Burial for that reason. 1 Allure of Darkness. We are using this beautiful OCG one. I think this one is quite expensive. I don't remember how expensive it is, but and I don't know what it's from. Let me see. What does it say? It has a TRC1. I believe this is like a tournament pack, like an OCG tournament pack one. It's quite pricey. It looks really good. It's a little bit subtle on the foiling, but it matches some of the other cards in the side deck, so we're opting for this. Plus, this is a swagged out deck, so you got to go with the swagged out niche rarities, you know. Then, of course, 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, best spot removal, and 1 Heavy Storm, best sweeper in the format, hands down. So the classics. We're not playing Brain Control because Relinquished does it, but better. We also don't have a lot of conversions for Brain Control outside of like Sacrifice for Sirocco or Black Illusion Ritual, but if you're taking your opponent's monster and sacrificing it for Black Illusion Ritual, why not just Black Illusion Ritual and take their monster with the Relinquished, save yourself the 800 life points and the Brain Control, and you don't end with a 0/0 monster, you actually end with the threat. So that's kind of the logic behind no Brain Control in the list. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. Just stay alive, basically. Relinquish with Djinn is better under low resources because your opponent has less cards that they can use to deal with the Relinquished. So there's a ton of spot removal in this deck just to keep the opponent's cards very low so that the Relinquished with Djinn has the highest likelihood of sticking. So 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. For the same reason, triple Deep Prison, we are maxing out on it in this build. Same thing. You just want to keep your opponent's cards really, really low, keep your life total high, and make sure you stick a Relinquish with the Djinn on the low resource side of the game. Rest of the trap cards are similar. 1 Dust Tornado, extra spot removal. This card's very good in the main right now, so you definitely want to be playing 1 in the main. in most decks. I think Solemn Judgment, same thing, pay half your life. I need a first edition one. I have basically max rarity of like all the like staples, but I don't have a first edition Solemn, so at some point I'm gonna have to get one of those. Sign me up for a huge bill. One Torrential Tribute, same thing. It's nice to set behind a Djinn, set behind a Sangin, a Dimensional Alchemist, set behind a, I don't even know, the rest of the stuff, the Manjus, the Sangin, whatever. It's pretty great in this deck, and it's pretty great in general. And then last but definitely not least, one Mirror Force. You gotta rock with it. So the general concept of the deck is that you just outvalue your opponent, you grind them out. The Alchemists work really well in this deck because they provide an extra light count where you can still side out your Cyber Dragons if they're bad in a matchup and still have 5 lights, which is reasonable enough to keep in the Chaos Sorcerer. It also works well with the Djinn because you're proactively banishing stuff. It works well with Allure, it works well with Dad, it works well with Chaos Sorcerer, it works well with your opponent, banishing your cards potentially with Caius. Caius on Relinquished happens a lot, so this guy can buy back a banish Relinquished. It just works really well with the deck, and it keeps your card total high and allows you to grind and summon additional threats. Like let's say you go turn 1 Manju and then turn 1 Dimensional Alchemist. Your opponent doesn't really want to Mirror Force that because there are 2 cards, one of them is going to replace itself and the other one's already replaced itself, and you're still applying 3,200 points of pressure, which is really strong. So I think this card really does fit the deck very nicely in practice. Let's move on to the side deck and the extra deck. For the side deck, it's very simple. Once again, you just want to keep your opponent's cards low. We're going with 3 DD Crows. I'm on the dual terminal ones today. I may or may not get nicer looking ones, but I do really love the way the dual terminal DD Crows look. We got 3 Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. This is one of the best Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer decks. I only have 1 super rare because it was in my Go Control deck, but we've also got 2 of the Mosaics, which I normally use because I normally don't enter tournaments with cards that warp. So yeah, I do like the Mosaics. They look okay. I think that there might be a better one. The Speed Duel Secret might be nicer than that even. The Super Rare isn't like anything exceptional either, but it's classic, so you gotta have it in for the deck profile. But yeah, this is one of the best decks to use Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer because you Relinquished, steal their monster, normal Kaiku, banish their grave. You can't lose. You beat their graveyard, you beat their board, you beat everything. You get clear boards really easily with the high counts of spot removal and with Relinquished, dealing with set monsters even, and so this card is just going to connect more often than not. It's incredible in this deck. It's almost worth maining. I consider maining it over the Sirocco. In some metas, you would main 2 over the Siroccos inside the Siroccos. That's just food for thought. 1 Breaker the Magical Warrior. Once again, this deck is very, very weak to pulling the rug, so I don't love high counts of this. I discussed this card with Rex Mendoza, and he said he really likes it because you can just summon it, pop a back row, then use it as tribute fodder. And obviously that's very nice, but I think just having a 1600 monster left over isn't ideal. I do love this card for dealing with Royal Oppression against Vayu Turbo, and I do like this card in some weird niche matchups that might be playing some floodgates that are annoying, like Rivalry or something like that. But ultimately, I think that overloading on this type of card is worse than overloading on stuff like Dust Tornado because skill drain is probably the primary concern. And yeah, I do think 1 is good though. It's good for Vayu Turbo. 3 Book of Moon. I love Book of Moon, and in this deck it is very strong. This is also a pretty rare OCG version. I'm not really sure which one it is. I think it's an OCG tournament pack secret, something like that. They're kind of a pain in the ass to find, but yeah, this is for Glads mostly. It's for Glads. It can reset your Relinquished, but side it for Glads. That's it. Glads is always going to be a rough matchup. So 3 books. 1 Starlight Road. This helps you against Blackwings. We are using the OCG Collector's Rare. I think the Ultimate Rare also looks pretty good, but this one it just shines right, and I have it, so it's in the deck. I love the way the edge foiling looks as well. It looks quite nice. So this card, great against Blackwings, great against anything that's trying to like blow up your board with like Black Rose Dragon or like anything that gets weird, that sort of thing. Torrential Tribute, Needle Sealing, if anyone's getting cheeky or whatever, Dark Dust Spear, I'm not really sure. Anything that you need this against, usually it's just Blackwings. Then for the rest, there's a bunch of chainables, 2 Dust Tornado. I got 1 main deck that's a super and 2 that are dual terminal for the sides. We're using mismatching ones because it makes deciding much easier. 1 Trap Dust Shoot, not making the main, because once again, this is kind of a force your opponent to commit thing, but it does get better post board because it can take Vanity's Fiend or like Cheeky, Fossil Dyna, that sort of thing. And then 1 Threatening Roar to make sure you just don't die to certain decks that can really put the hurt on you post board, and then you can go for Relinquished and take this stuff. I forgot to mention, Book of Moon is also for Christia Sworn. This is one of the best cards against Christia Sworn. Not only does it prevent their openers from getting the mills, but it prevents the Christia from locking you out of the game. You can put it face down, take it with Relinquished, and then act accordingly. So yeah, pretty solid stuff there. This also works against Absolute Zero, but usually against Absolute Zero decks, you're not siding it in. As for the extra deck, it's very straightforward. 1 Stardust Dragon to go with that Starlight Road, and 3 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragons. You're not going to be syncering in this deck. You have no tuners, you have no brain control, you have nothing, so you don't need an extra deck at all. It's a very budget deck, budget friendly if you want to go for a low rarity. Definitely shop local, and that's pretty much it. Let's get to the matches. I know you guys are probably fiending for that sort of thing, and if you guys haven't already, make sure and sign up for RBET, Santa Clara, RBET, whatever else that's coming up right now. There will be links in the description below, RBET Chicago. Check those out, and I'll probably include an additional plug for that. And if you guys like this type of content, please let me know in the comments below, because I love hearing you guys talk about beautiful cardboard. See you guys in the matches. Alright boys, we got 5 matches for you here today with the Relinquished deck, and possibly some members only spice with it eventually. But before we get into the match, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but RBET Santa Clara is coming up, and this is the beautiful, beautiful donated gift from, ooh, I gotta make sure the logo is visible there. You guys can see that, right? There you go. The Collector's Expo. Beautiful, beautiful free gifts from Yggdrasil. Let's put this up here. There we go. Free gifts from Yggdrasil. Donations to the community for RBET Santa Clara. You're not going to want to miss this one. This one is actually insane. This is one where I was like, is this the first RBET I have to break every rule, piss everybody off, and play against the better judgment of my... Like, this is crazy. This is actually... They snapped on this one. This total neutrality, you know what I'm saying? This vigilante, this ice vigilante, one might say. Definitely a banger design, but yeah, definitely come through to RBET Santa Clara. You guys already know what's gonna be popping. It's gonna be fucking lit. It's at Collector's Expo. There's all this stuff to do. Whatever. Enough plugging. Let's get into the match. All right. So I win the die roll, which is great. This is up against Dragon Kai from the Discord. Shout out to Dragon Kai, always down to game. And we've opened up pretty strong hand. We've got Allure of Darkness, we've got Manju. So we're starting off with 7 cards off the bat. We've got Jin, so all we need is the other half of the Relinquished cards, and we can be set up to start pumping out floodgates, basically. So yeah, gonna start off with Allure of Darkness. We find Preparation of Rites, which is beautiful. That means if Manju finds the Black Illusion Ritual, then Preparation of Rites can find the Relinquished, and we're good to go with Jin. So we have our first floodgate set up ready. We just want to chip away at the opponent's cards using Alchemist, Bottomless Trap, or Dust Tornado to narrow him down to ideally like 2-3 cards, and then we stick that floodgate right around then. You don't want to shotgun it too soon unless you absolutely have to, but if you can stick it when your opponent's like burned a few cards, then you're cooking. So normal to Manju, that's going to grab the Black Illusion Ritual. Pretty straightforward. We want to get our pluses while we can. Bottomless is the perfect pairing with these 1400 attack monsters, except for if your opponent's on Mystic Tomato, Shining Angel, or those types of cards that like to run into Manju at +1. So set the Bottomless, set the Dust Tornado, and pass the turn. If we get Heavy Stormed here, that does suck. We do have Comeback Blaze. He says something different. Normally he does play zombies, and today he's playing frogs. So we're going to normal summon Swap Frog and send the Treeborn Frog. Jin is insane against frogs. It's like the reason this deck is even viable is because of how good it is up against frogs because of the Jin. So yeah, bounces a Swap Frog, passes a turn. We're just going to pick off that back row. Dust Tornado is not going to get a lot of mileage against frogs, so getting while the gooding is good is what you should do. So we're drawing a Sangan. Sangan is it's okay here. I'm just going to summon it. I'm trying to bait him into playing a Monarch so that we can summon a Floodgate and steal a Monarch with the Floodgate, and then we have a 2400 Floodgate against him. Basically, build your own Vanity's Fiend. He's going to normally swap, send Subs a Toad, bounce the swap, so actually not that bad, but we can still set up that Relinquished, steal the Treeborn Frog. And Preparation of Rites here is actually a 1-card rebuild of that Floodgate, because the Djinn in the graveyard can be used as a tribute material again, and then the Preparation of Rites gets us the Black Illusion from the graveyard and a Relinquish from the deck. So it's a 1-card rebuild of the Floodgate. This card is incredibly powerful. It does kind of brick in multiples, especially early in the game. That's why we're only playing 2. I know there's going to be a bunch of comments like, oh, I can't believe you're only playing 2, but it's like, you really only want to draw 1 of them, and you usually only need to draw 1 of them. You don't want to draw 2 of them, and you don't really want to draw 2 of them early, especially. So it's kind of like Pot of Avarice in that sense, but it is really good. So we've got the Relinquish here set up. He can't special summon. We can now attack for 2,500. No Gores, no Fader, no nothing. And we can actually summon the Alchemist and hit for 4,300. And the nice part about this board, too, is like, even if it gets blown up, even if I get Mirror Force, Torrential, whatever, Manju's already plussed, Relinquish already got us a bunch of damage, Sangin gets us a search, Dimensional Alchemist rebuilds, it gets to add back the Djinn. So it's like, all of your cards just kind of replace themselves, and so the pressure is nice, and it's also very fluent. We're going to fire off the Preparation of Rites now to get the 3rd Relinquished out of the deck, I believe. No, we just want to deck thin the Relinquish now. There's really no reason not to do that. Deck thinning the Relinquish because we don't want to draw it next turn. And then we'll go ahead and attack here for the 4,300 damage. And no Gores, no anything can be played here. This is big damage, and if his only play is something like set Dupe Frog to try and wall out, the nice part about this is, unlike like traditional little guy decks, Relinquish can just attack into defense position monsters, and due to its battle damage effect, it can burn people out that way. So getting him really low is really nice, because that just means Relinquish is that much more likely to burn him out. He's got Brain Control, which is going to drop into 500. He's going to take the Alchemist, sack the Alchemist for Caius. We're going to chain Bottomless Trap Hole, take 1,000, but we've got 2 lethal threats, and he's got nothing in play, and he's playing Frog, so what are the chances? He's going to Miracle Fusion, banish the Substone from the grave, and the Evil Guy, so he does actually have the 2-part extension here to be able to stick the Absolute Zero. Ooh, boy making an appearance before Santa Clara. In any case, he is going to attack over the Manju, dealing us 1,100, but we have the Rebuild Black Illusion Ritual, banish the Djinn, take the 0, and then attack for game. So you guys can see the power of the deck. All of your cards get you like nice little pieces of advantage that put together a big push, generally with like, sometimes it's with 2 of the Ritual Monsters and an Alchemist, or sometimes it's with 2 of the Ritual Monsters and like a Relinquish or something like that, or like sometimes you even have a bigger monster like Chaos Sorcerer or Cyber Dragon involved with it, but you get that big chip damage in, the cards all replace themselves, and then you have a game shot either with Relinquish Burn or a Relinquish Steal as things progress. So it's a very nice natural flow to the deck. There's no like clunkiness, there's no excess normal summons. Every normal summon contributes to that basically, or digs you deeper towards that, like Alchemist. He's going to summon Swap Frog by pitching Specialing Ocean, normal summon Substitoad, and this is going to be the long route to setting up the dupe lock, an Edison format classic. Thankfully, our deck just does not care about it. The soft lock especially, but yeah, this sort of lock is something we don't really care about. We can play through it fairly easily. We're in a normal Manju. Manju's going to go get us the Black Illusion Ritual because we have the Preparation of Rites to get the Relinquish. We can Foolish the Djinn. We can use the Djinn to take the Dupe Frog. We can crash into the Substitoad. We can figure out how to do this. I think the answer is we go ahead and prep for the Relinquish, Foolish the Djinn, activate the Black Illusion Ritual, Special Relinquish, take the Dupe Frog. Yep, looks like I'm coming to the same conclusions. We're not actually going to crash though because I don't want to give him the Dupe Frog add back, and I don't want to leave the Relinquish naked. I want him to still be equipped so that even if he attacks it with like a Swap Frog or something, it's not going to die. He's going to take 1,400 here, 100 direct from the Relinquished, and then we're going to pass the turn. He's going to go ahead and Soul Exchange, targeting the Relinquished. Sack for Evil, Malicious Evil. Tries to add back, but that actually doesn't work because the last thing to happen is the monster being summoned. The Dupe Frog will miss timing there, so yeah, little unfortunate. Can't attack due to the Soul Exchange restrictions, and we have a few ways we can come back into this. We could always crash the Manju, Special Chaos Sorcerer or something like that. We have a couple ways into this. It's not the end of the world, but it's not great. I'll say that much. We left in Heavy Storm and Space Typhoon, I think, because the Frog deck can't really beat Relinquished without back row. So as long as we have the outs to the back row, they can't really beat Relinquished. And we're really trying to chip away at his cards, you know? So Heavy Storm might be worse than like Dust Tornado or Space Typhoon or something like that, because that can end phase hit stuff. But Heavy Storm is thingy going crazy right now. But Heavy Storm is still a great way to deal with back row from this deck. So we're going to summon the Alchemist, banish the Black Illusion Ritual. So miss there, a little bit unlucky. And that is our second Black Illusion Ritual. So now we need our second preparation of rights to go ahead and special summon Relinquished. And that's going to be a pretty big constraint on our resources here. Alchemist is going to crash because I just need to deal with this. It's kind of a big threat here. We're going to add back the Djinn to our hand, so a little bit of a resource float. Wait, I didn't go for... Why did I not go for the Chaos Sorcerer then? What was I thinking? Why did I wait on that? Huh. I wonder why I waited on that. Maybe I was trying to get a turn where I could go Chaos Sorcerer plus Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. I don't know. I think I'm just dead here, though. I'm not just dead, but that's a 3,000 absolute 0 and 2,600 to the face. That's a lot of damage. It's not just game, though, which is nice, I guess, but doesn't look great for us. The Heavy Storm looking pretty silly, not going to lie, but... yeah, we go for Chaos Sorcerer. That can banish off the Absolute 0. That's going to destroy the Absolute 0. And now we could set the Djinn. I think that's what I do. Yeah, makes sense. He can Pierce over it for 600, but we've got Bottomless for the follow-up summon. He's going to go ahead and just attack over it. Take 600. The Djinn in the graveyard is functionally the same. Manju can search another Relinquished here, but things are looking kind of rough. I'm not going to lie. We're going to go ahead and grab that Relinquished. Now we only have one Relinquished left in deck, but... I decided to just concede there because my hand wasn't that good, and I probably should have just Chaos Sorcerer banished his guy. I don't know. I also probably shouldn't have left him Heavy Storm. I was just acting silly, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, this hand is much better. We've got Torrential Tribute, which is a functional FTK against frogs, and then we've got Trap Dust Shoot, as well as Allure of Darkness to dig for stuff. Relinquish and Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer is always nice. We are going to Allure, and whatever we banish off of the Allure, we can get back with Alchemist, which is always nice too, especially because we have that Torrential. I'm going to set the Dust Shoot, the Torrential, and probably summon the Alchemist. I did not, because I want a Torrential Chainlink 2 to win effect, and I don't want to make my own Alchemist miss timing. That's probably it. Dust Shoot is going to reveal the hand, and the hand isn't bad. He's got Subsitoad, he's got the Hero Access, and he's got Unifrog. So no matter what we take here, he's going to have Unifrog access, which is kind of ugly for us. I think I decided to take the Subsitoad. Oh, no, I take the Unifrog. I want to force him to use the Subsitoad to go into Unifrog. That was kind of my game plan here. He does go for the Subsitoad here. I'm surprised he didn't go for like Set Treeborn or something like that. But maybe he was a little bit worried about us going like Djinn and then stealing the Treeborn Frog, something like that. It's understandable. It's going to go Swap Frog, send Treeborn, attack for 1,000. I'm just going to let all this happen. Bounces a Swap Frog, passes a turn. We draw Preparation of Rights number 2. So this is kind of why I'm like, you don't really want to play too many of these, because drawing 2 of them early just doesn't amount to any play. This doesn't get us a Djinn. It doesn't get us a Black Illusion Ritual. You don't want to be clogged with too many of this card early. So that's kind of like why I only play 2. Alchemist is going to banish Dad, which is awesome. We're going to hit for 1,000. We're going to probably just pass the turn. I've now got Alchemist plus Torrential. I'm hoping to bait him into like a Malicious Edge Tribute Summon here, and then we can Torrential and then add back Dark-Armed Dragon or Relinquished. Probably Dark-Armed Dragon here because we have 2 access to Relinquished already. Treeborn's going to hit play. I'm going to Torrential on the Treeborn Summon actually to get back Dad. I don't know if this is a good play or not. This is probably bad. I guess I figured he could like Soul Exchange and do some shit. I just feel like Torrential and Dialk could have been used maybe a little bit better. Like maybe I set Dialk, but then he for sure Soul Exchanges it. I have to bait the Soul Exchange somehow before I can stick the Dialk, which is ugly. Yeah, this is just like too aggressive, honestly. Because like, what if I didn't hit Dad there? Like, what am I doing? I guess it's the bait for the Soul Exchange. I don't know. That was a silly one. Here comes Swap Frog. That's gonna send Subsitoad. Attack for 1,000. Bounce a Swap Frog. Pass the turn. We draw Manju of the 10,000 hands. And so we finally have our ritual unlocked. We're going to summon that, grab Black Illusion Ritual. We don't have the Djinn, though, unfortunately. The Djinn here would be optimal. We're going to run over the Treeborn Frog, set Bottomless Trap Hole, and pass the turn. Here comes Treeborn Frog, sack for Malicious Edge. I'm going to Bottomless that so we don't have to deal with Miracle Fusion. That's his only hero as far as we know. We draw into DD Crow, which is a card I probably shouldn't have sided in against him. But, yeah, I don't know. I did. I don't think this card is, like, that good against frogs because you can just send the other Treeborn Frog and you're just down -1. Even if you hit a lone Treeborn Frog, you're just down -1. But here in this specific moment, because we have Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer and we're able to connect and banish that Treeborn, it's actually not bad. So we're going to be able to connect, banish Treeborn, and Substitute. He still does have that one Substitute left over. Manju's going to connect for 14. He's going to set Dupe Frog and set Regeki Break. We're going to draw for turn at Solemn Judgment. I'm going to attack the set Dupe Frog just to get it face up for Relinquished when we eventually decide to go for that. I set Solemn Judgment. He end-phase Regeki Breaks, hitting the Solemn Judgment. So he's trying to set up for a big play here, probably with Junk Synchron, something like that. He's going to bring out the Treeborn Frog. I'm just going to Crow that so I don't have to deal with 2 Treeborn Frogs for the rest of the game. So Treeborn Frog is just not a resource that gets used for the rest of the game, which is really nice. That's why I like to prioritize Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer in this matchup, and maybe the one DD Crow isn't that bad. I'm not sure. Anyway, I think I only sided in 1, because I think it's like 3 Kaiku, 1 DD Crow for whatever. I don't really remember the fucking patterns, bro. Shit. He's going to go Rhoda for Stratos, get Alias. He's got a pretty good hand now. Stratos can run over the Manju if he wants to, and he's going to do that. So we're going to take 400, and we draw into another Manju. So it's alright. We still don't have Djinn, but I think the big thing here is the life total. He's at 3,000. And if he doesn't have defense, we kind of win. So I just go for it. Summon Manju, activate, search Relinquished, Black Illusion Ritual, sack Dad, special Relinquished, Preparation of Rites, grab Relinquished, grab the Black Illusion Ritual, sack Manju, special Relinquished, take the Dupe Frog, take the Stratos, attack for 37. And that's going to be the game. So this deck can deal a lot of burst damage. And, yeah, it can OTK out of nowhere. And just kind of worked out really well. So you can see here the second Preparation of Rites is dead because all 3 Relinquished are out of the deck. And we have no real way of putting them back. So just more compounding on the reason why we only play 2. But a little bit of early aggression. A little bit of chip damage. Maybe opponent doesn't want to use Regeki Break on a Manju, for example. And then a couple of Relinquished on a big turn can close things out. And that's all it really takes. Especially if you have Djinn in this circumstance, it's much safer. I decided to risk it because fuck it, we ball. But if you have Djinn, then you don't even have to worry about Gores. So that's really nice too. Alright, next replay. Next replay is up against Desla Hero, aka Damien. He wins Rock, Paper, Scissors here. He's going to start off with E-Call for Stratos, Search Oceans. A lot of Frog Hero I'm getting faced with, but it did win RBET, a couple of RBETs, and he fucking shows me this disgusting abomination of an... This isn't even a real card. This is a fake card. A fake card on a fake website. Fan art type shit. This looks heinous. Get this shit out of here. Anyway, disgusting. At least it's covered up now. Gonna go ahead and just substitute out everything and just like end on the soft dupe block, and we're gonna get Water Art at turn 1. So pretty rough. Water Art is a disgusting card, especially main deck, especially going first. He's gonna take the Sonic Bird, and that's what unlocked our whole hand. So we're kind of in a bad spot here. I'm not gonna lie. We had Dust Tornado main deck. After, you know, if we had gone first, this would have been able to clear the Water Art. Alas, we went second, so it's kind of ugly. Brings back the Treeborn, searches Alias. He's going to summon Alias. We're going to have to do something about it, but we don't. I should have Bottomless there or D-Prison there, but a little silly on my part. End-phase Dust Tornado is actually going to hit a follow-up Water Art, so that's pretty good. We draw Preparation of Rites. I set the Alchemist. He's going to sack for Ryza. I'm going to chain Bottomless. He's going to attack for 19. I still don't do anything about it. I'm maybe hoping to get it as a Relinquished target, but things don't look good. He hits me with a third fucking Water Art, and I'm just like, bruh, let me play the game. I'm getting hand-looped by fucking Hero Frogs. Here comes 1900 attack. Okay, Absolute Zero attacks. D-Prison that we've saved for this moment. He sets a back row, passes to us. We draw Bottomless, and we just die to this Alias because we got Water Arted 3 times. Oh my gosh. Set the Necro Gardener. He Space Typhoons Bottomless. He Regeki breaks the Necro, tries to go for game. We have Necro. Can we piece this one back together somehow? The answer is maybe. We're going to go ahead and preparation of rites for Relinquished. Black Illusion Ritual out. Take the alias. Alleviate the pressure. See what he draws for turn. Oh, it's Unifrog for game. Wow, perfect. Beautiful. So, absolutely giga-sacked that game. Getting triple water arted is something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Very busted card. I'm surprised more and more Frog Hero players don't play that card in the main deck. It seems really strong. So, I don't know. Food for thought. Anyway, we do draw the Jin going second here, and we've got double Dust Tornado, which is kind of funny, but we've got a Jin Relinquished, so you can't really complain about this. We got Sonic Bird. That's going to go grab the second Black Illusion Ritual, and we're kind of cooking here. I'm just going to summon the Relinquished, take his guy. He can't special summon, and we can attack for 14. So, the lock is set up. He pitches special swap, and I'm like, yeah, you cannot do that. I use the Jin. Normal, the Ocean. He's going to attack with the Sonic Bird. Kind of cringe. End phase, we're going to Dust Tornado the Book of Moon, but I can show you guys why Relinquish is so powerful. So, if this card would be destroyed by battle, destroy the equipped monster instead. So we'll be able to destroy this Treeborn Frog instead. And then on top of that, while equipped with any monster, any battle damage you take from battles involving this card inflicts equal effect damage to your opponent. Shit from the anime right there. So we're going to attack this. We're both going to take 15. I'm going to lose the equipped monster, and then I'm going to be able to take his monster right back. And yeah, we're going to be in the same position, but better. Idler of Darkness, banish the Chaos Sorcerer, because we don't have a light, so that's just never really coming to fruition. I'm going to go ahead and switch to attack. Crash into the Ocean, pop the boy, steal the guy, and then set the Deep Prison, probably. Pass the turn. If he has Heavy Storm, we lose, can't bring back Treeborn, and he just concedes because he's locked out of the game. So we're going to go to game 3 here. And we've opened up with a lot of our power starters, and we've also got Gore Solemn, so pretty solid hand here. Even through a 1 water art, 2 water arts here would be tough, but he's going to go ahead and send the Treeborn Frog. I'm stimming by rolling the dice. And he passes back, so no water arts. Thank goodness. We've got Dust Shoot, Solemn, 3 starters, and Gores. This is a beautiful hand. Go grab the Black Illusion Ritual, set the Dust Shoot, pass the turn. We're going to go ahead and Dust Shoot. We don't set the Solemn because we want to drop the Gores before we Solemn. We're going to reveal the hand here. The hand is pretty strong. He's got Heroes. He's got Caius. He's got Double Swap, Dupe Frog, Heavy Storm. So we're going to go ahead and take the Alias to keep the Miracle Fusion dead. However, he does have Sack for Caius, banish the Sonic Bird, pitch special swap, attack for 1,000, and then bounce the Caius past the turn. That's his best play, plays through Gores. That being said, he might not be thinking about Gores. He's just going to go ahead and sack for Caius, banish the Sonic Bird, pitch special swap, send Subset Toad, attack for 1,000, attack for 24, play directly into the Gores. We're going to drop the Gores. We're going to get the Gores token. He's going to bounce, and he's actually going to bounce the Caius. So similar play, but he's going to end with the Dupe Frog and the Swap Frog in play. And he's going to be staring down a much bigger token. We're going to draw Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer, and that's just devastating because it banishes his only Treeborn Frog, shuts off potential follow-up miracles, and just makes it so his entire hand is dead here. He does have Heavy Storm for our Solemn Judgment, and we do know about that Heavy Storm, I believe, so I think we set the Black Illusion Ritual. Or we set nothing. Yeah, we just set nothing. He can't even bring out the Caius anyway. He top decks E-Call, which is an insanely good top deck because it turns on the Miracle, but he should have grabbed Stratos. He's going to pitch special swap. Swap sends. He tries to Miracle, I believe, and I'm like, you can't do that because of Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer's Floodgate effect. So he has to sack for Caius and then Miracle afterward, which is still good. This is still very good, but he's at 2,200. Last card's dead, and we've got an active Relinquish to burn him out. So, yeah, really solid stuff. The deck kind of came together for us that game. We're going to go ahead and take the Caius and win that one. He wanted to run it back, so we ran it back. And let's see if he gets his vengeance. We win the Rock, Paper, Scissors. I'm going to go Sonic Bird, grab Black Illusion Ritual. We can use it to sacrifice Sangan to try and find the Jin for the follow-up ones. I go ahead and set the Heavy Storm. He opens up fucking hideous, disgusting. Grab Subset Toad, normal summon Sangan, so really good start from him. Searches the Junk Synchron, hasn't even normal summoned yet. Bounces a Swap Frog. Interesting decision, pitches special to Swap Frog, sacks, goes and gets the Dupe Frog. I feel like there was some sort of Junk Synchron play here that could have been really good, but he's going to blow up our Heavy Storm, which sucks. Sacks for the Dupe Frog, sets a back row, and passes. So, yeah, pretty good setup from him here. He's got Regeki Break 2 on top of all that. I just feel like he could have ended with the Junk Synchron, like, getting extra value. Like, he uses extra normal on the Unifrog, but he didn't normal yet. So he could have like normal junk synchron, ended with more frogs in play and like more cards in hand that he'd actually want to discard, like to the Regeki break. We draw Dust Tornado, which is like lit, I guess. I go for Black Illusion Ritual, get Relinquished. Sangan activates. Now, we missed timing here to... Not missed timing, but we can't priority Relinquish because Sangan is mandatory. So he could chain to the Sangan effect here, Regeki break, and blow up the Relinquished. That being said, we just have to take the Unifrog, get this shit out of my face, you know what I mean? Set the Dust Tornado, pass the turn, he brings back the Treeborn. He's going to go for Heavy Storm. He can't bring back the Treeborn because he had a Regeki break. I think we caught that. But yeah, he's going to go normal Junk Synchron, bring out Swap Frog, just attack over Relinquish, and then bounce the Junk Synchron. And this is pretty good advantage from him, I'm not going to lie. Especially because we have no way to really engage with it anymore. So we got to summon Sonic Bird, go grab another Black Illusion Ritual, and just kind of hope to get out of this situation. We've got a Jin, so like next turn we can set up a Jin Relinquished, but it's going to take some effort here. He's going to bring back Unifrog. I thought he was actually going to bounce the Unifrog there and then extra normal the Unifrog and try to poke at the back row. But instead he bounced the Junk Synchron, which is like kind of understandable, I guess. I don't really know. I top deck Preparation of Rites, which is amazing. We're able to grab back our Black Illusion Rituals. And now we can set up the ultimate formation here. We summon Manju, grab the Relinquish, and check out this symmetrical board we're about to have. Black Illusion Ritual, bring out Relinquish. Black Illusion Ritual, bring out Relinquished. Take double Dupe Frog. Oh my gosh, the symmetry is crazy. Look at this symmetry. Beautiful symmetry. Run over his monsters. 2 special summon locks in play. We've got D-Prison to prevent any sort of attacks on these Relinquished. We're just going to hit for a bunch of damage here, 1600 I believe, and pass the turn. Here comes E-Call off the top. That's going to find Stratos. Stratos is going to attack over the Sonic Bird. I'm just going to D-Prison that because I don't want to deal with that shit. I switch both my Relinquish to defense here to play around Mirror Force off the top. He did top deck it, so we're going to set the Solemn Judgment, and we still maintain this symmetrical board position. Look how beautiful this is. So symmetrical. So nice. We've got a different type of dupe lock going on right now. He passes a turn back. We top deck the Jin back to our symmetrical state. Attack for 1200. He's going to go ahead and normal Junk Synchron. Enemy controller tried to take the Relinquish here. I should have solemned this. So this was a huge punt on my part because he can crash the Relinquish, activate the Dupe Frog, and then use this Relinquish to take the other Relinquish, and then maybe like pitch special Swap Frog, bounce this Relinquish, and then he's out from the lock. So I should have solemned this enemy controller here. I didn't though. So he crashes. We both take 1100. Dupe Frog goes to the graveyard. He adds back Unifrog. He's going to go ahead and take the other Relinquished. That's going to be equipped. He's going to add back the... I think he adds back there. I'm not sure though. He passes back. And one thing that's funny is that this Relinquish actually stays in his spell and trap zone. So he can't actually Treeborn Frog even if, even this wasn't a Jin Relinquish. But it is a Jin Relinquish. Summon Sonic Bird. We have no targets left. Both Black Illusion Rituals are out of the deck. But we do have Solemn Judgment for his normal summon. And we are hoping to close this out with 2 2600. So there's the normal summon Swap Frog. I'm going to flip Solemn Judgment. So negate that. He sets a new back row and then concedes. So we win game 1 off of a crazy symmetrical board. The deck kind of functioning as it's meant to. And here you see me bringing in DD Crow again. I don't think this is a good sideboard plan. I don't think bringing in DD Crow against Frog Hero is that good. I think Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer is good, but DD Crow's a little bit sus. Yeah, so normal Alchemist, and we miss. So if the Alchemist here had hit, that'd be pretty nice, but he does have Regeki Break to deal with it if he wanted to. Missing is obviously just insult to injury. We're just going to attack. Feels bad, man. Set Bottomless Trap Hole, pass the turn. He doesn't have a Frog yet, but then he top decks it, so I'm like, alright. Send Treeborn. Attack for 1000. Not much I can do there. Bounces it. Draws for turn. We find Space Typhoon, normal Sonic Bird, grab Black Illusion Ritual. Attack for 1400 and set the Space Typhoon and pass. He's going to end-phase Regeki Break the Space Typhoon, so pretty good trade for me, but then he does have Space Typhoon for our Bottomless, which is kind of rough. He's going to try to activate Treeborn. I'm going to Crow it. He's going to normal the Ocean and attack over the Sonic Bird. This is a forcing action. If I don't answer this Ocean, then he's going to be able to add back Stratos and just overwhelm us with advantage. Sets a new back row. Hopefully it's not anything too crazy. Water Art here would be crippling. I activate Black Illusion Ritual. Thankfully it's not Water Art. We take the Ocean. We attack for 1500 and he has Mirror Force. So maybe I shouldn't have attacked there. I'm not really sure. It wasn't a Jin locked Relinquish though, so it doesn't really matter. He attacks for 1000, bounces the swap. We draw Sonic Bird. So kind of awkward that we've drawn all 3 Sonic Birds and both Black Illusion Rituals. This doesn't happen that frequently, but it can come up. It's so important to see Sonic Bird that it's still worth playing the 3, but drawing the 3rd one after you've already seen both Black Illusion Rituals is pretty unlucky. We attack for 1400, and as you can see, the deck is fairly consistent. It just has some weirdly unlucky draws. He's going to go ahead and pitch Special Swap, deal a shit ton of damage, and we're really at risk here, especially if he has another back row. He bounces the Kaya, sets a new back row, and I'm like, fuck me. Attack with Kaiki the Ghost Destroyer, hoping that that would connect. Main phase 2, I'm forced to go for Relinquished to steal the Swap Frog, just to not die to the Caius, but we're super dead here. Brings back Treeborn, Brain Controls, and has Caius. So that game, he kind of had it all. He had multiple back row. I think he had like 3 or 4 back row. We had a DD Crow that went kind of minus. We drew a dead Sonic Bird. We didn't find Jin, and we were like 20 cards into our deck. So it was like a lot of perfect storm things happened for us to lose that one, which can totally happen. I mean, it's Yu-Gi-Oh, so whatever. And we're playing Relinquished, so like, what can you expect? We're playing a combo deck, more or less. I sided in the Breaker because he has so many back row. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but I figured it might be better than DD Crow. Who fucking knows? I just set Dust Tornado, set Necrogarna, sandbag the Solemn a little bit. Want to save it for late game. He goes ahead and Typhoons the Dust Tornado. Pretty happy with that trade. He goes E-Call, go grab the Stratos. I was hoping to like end phase hit a Regeki Break and then like maybe, I don't know what I was hoping to do. He's going to Water Art us, take Kaiki the Ghost Destroyer. Pretty ugly, sacrificing the Ocean. So we do get Water Arted there, which is not great. We're going to go ahead and Allure. We can banish the Breaker. That can come back off of Dialk at some point maybe. I'm going to summon the Dialk, banish the top card, flip the Necrogarna, and attack for 24. If these monsters die, they make the Chaos Sorcerer alive. So yeah, we're kind of chilling here. We got Solemn Judgment. He doesn't know about it, so makes it a lot worse, actually. He's going to grab Alias, attack over the Necrogarna. No, he's going to attack Alchemist. That makes sense. That's going to add back the Breaker. Breaker can run over Stratos if we want to. I'm going to summon it and just try to pop his back row, but he's got Chain Regeki Break, and now I'm forced to go for Chaos Sorcerer on his Stratos. I think the best play here, this is a game-losing misplay, by the way, but the best play here is Normal Summon Breaker, attack his monster. If I Normal Summon Breaker, attack Stratos, I think I win this game just easily. Because then I'm not forced to use the Chaos Sorcerer. If he goes Regeki Break, target the Breaker, I can choose to Solemn that if I want to kill the Stratos. And then, or I could just choose not to Solemn that, and then have Solemn for his follow-up Miracle Fusion. Whereas here, I don't have the Solemn. I misused the Breaker into a Chainable. I burned the Chaos Sorcerer that is obviously going to be incredible at some point in this game. He takes 2200, and then he does have the follow-up Miracle. And I'm sitting here like, man, if I had had this Chaos Sorcerer, it would have been so much better. So yeah, I definitely should have summoned Breaker and attacked, especially because Solemn was the set card. That was really stupid on my part. Normal Substitute, activates, sacks, blows up my board, grabs Swap Frog, attacks for 1100. I'm going to be able to drop Gores, but it's like not even that good of a Gores, so I don't even know if I should have dropped it, but I figured it'd be good to have the token for Tribute Fodder if I find like Manju off the top or something like that. He goes into the double dupe block, passes the turn. I switch the Gores to attack because why the fuck not? He top decks another Miracle Fusion. I'm like, ooh. My misplay here with the Chaos Sorcerer is definitely costing me so much. Just so much. We lose the Gores for no reason. I use the Necrogarna actually. Lose the Necro for no reason. I Typhoon his Regeki Break because he has no cards in hand. I go for Preparation of Rites. I need to try to get through this, but I can't out both the Dupe Frogs and the Absolute Zero with just one Relinquished. And I'm forced to use my Preparation of Rites, which was kind of my follow-up. I grab the Dupe Frog here, and that's just like a huge punt. I should have grabbed the Absolute Zero. I attack into the Dupe Frog, and I'm thinking like I can maybe burn him out, but there's like just no way that I can burn him out because he can just bring back Treeborn and attack, crash with Relinquished, activate the Dupe Frog, add something back, and then attack over the Relinquished for 3000 damage, and I just fucking lose. Like straight up, like, so I think that this was a huge misplay. He sets a back row that he top decked. He didn't think of the Treeborn play, but we go ahead and attack the, I think he attacked over the Gores too, yeah. We go ahead and attack into the Dupe Frog to try and burn him out, and he flips Mirror Force off the top, and that's just kind of insult to injury, and I go ahead and concede, because there's nothing we can really top deck that really gets us out of that situation. Since we don't have a monster Deep Prison would have been okay, but yeah, that's just, I prematurely concede. So, wasn't I dead on board? Let me see. Was I dead on board? I should have. I think the reason I conceded was I should have been dead the last turn. We were in a Discord call. There was a reason I conceded this game. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was because I was like, you should have brought back Treeborn, attacked the Relinquished, gotten the Dupe Frog ad bag, and then attacked over the Relinquished for 3,000. Then I should have lost no matter what. I think was the... This game's still playable, but any draw from him wins it. We would have taken 3,500 at least, so we would be at 1,000. Then we draw Deep Prison, and he has to miss 2 draw steps to not kill us. That just doesn't sound likely. Yeah, we're probably dead there. All right, moving on. Next replay. So, tough one, he got his revenge. Damien's revenge. Next one is up against BioMike98. He's going to go road up for Chaos Endmaster. This was a really cool matchup. This was one of the coolest matches I've played in a while. He's going to go ahead and upstart. We're going to gain 1,000. He's got the Chaos End, set back row pass. I've got normal Sonic Bird. Sonic Bird's going to grab Black Illusion Ritual. I think Chaos Endmaster, very underrated card. I think it's a very good card. I'll just say it. I think it's an incredibly strong card. Rota Target, Tuner, Light for Honest, Light for Chaos Sorcerer. It has a Fire Dog effect. It special summons good monsters like Oracle of the Sun, which is an actual good card. Or you can play it with like Sphere of Chaos. Like you can play it with like legit powerful cards. There's no like actual Garnet. It's not like playing a Gilman. It's like you get to play strong cards with it. So yeah, definitely an underrated card. I've used it in builds before on the channel. I think I've used it in an assault mode build before, and so that's what I'm initially thinking that this is. I go ahead and allure, draw 2 cards. I find 3 Deep Prison. I'm pretty happy that I have 3 Deep Prison here because fucking Chaos Endmaster is scary. So I set all 3 because I'm like, fuck it. He goes ahead and attacks. He solemns the first Deep Prison, and I'm just like, damn, I'm getting owned. He's going to be able to set up a Stardust Dragon. The fact that I had 3 Deep Prisons and he had 1 Solemn, who would win 1 Old Man or 3-dimensional prisons? He broke out, dude. He broke out of the Chateau Deep. He's going to make Oracle, and he's going to wisely not attack into another Deep Prison. Very smart play from our opponent here. And then he's going to go ahead and Synchro into Stardust Dragon. And then with the he's going to set a back row. And I'm assuming that's like fucking assault mode activate here. I'm assuming I just fucking lose. This card's pretty good. It's from, I believe, Absolute Power Force. You can special summon it from your hand. It has like a Cyber Dragon style effect. It's a spellcaster. It can make Arcanite. It's a light. It's got 2,000 defense. Pretty interesting card. Anyway, we've got Foolish Burial. Send the Djinn. He's going to let that resolve. I'm going to activate Black Illusion Ritual. Special summon Relinquished. Relinquished priority. Try to take Stardust Dragon. And that's just going to resolve. So I'm like a little worried he might have like an actual interactive trap, but fuck it, we ball. Summon Dimensional Alchemist, banish Mirror Force, attack, and he's going to actually use the DD Warrior Lady and not the Mirror Force. So heads up play from the opponent there. Not allowing us to Alchemist back a Djinn is pretty smart on his part. However, it does mean he's going to take that 1,800 and drop very low after the Solemn Judgment. Only 1 more monster here for us is going to do it. We're going to Preparation of Rites. Going to grab Relinquish and the Black Illusion Ritual. We don't have any more Djinns, I don't think. But I just activate the Alchemist and attack into a set monster. Turns out it's Honest, so I'm not sure I should have predicted that. I was thinking maybe Shining Angel because it's on Chaos Endmaster and DD Warrior Lady. So this is maybe like a more conservative Assault Mode Activate deck, but we'll see. He has Upstart Goblin. We're at 9,800. He's going to bounce the Honest. Totally understandable. Set, pass. Activate the Alchemist. Banish the Gores. Attack the set monster. It's Honest. Who would have thought? Main phase 2. Black Illusion Ritual. Special Relinquish. Steal his Honest. Pass the turn. Sets a monster. Or sets a back row. We switch the Relinquish to defense. Player on Mirror Force. Heads up. Attack for 18. He takes 18. He can no longer brain control us, which is a good place for us to be. He's got E-Telly, bring out the commander. Sack the commander to set what I'm assuming is Oracle of the Sun or Thunder Dragon or something like that. I decide to switch the Relinquish to try and attack for game with the burn damage, and he does have the Mirror Force. So he got us good there. Sandbagging the Mirror Force for a long time. We grab Manju from the graveyard. Or not graveyard, from the Banish Zone. Main phase 2, normal summon Sirocco the Dawn. Get it into play while the getting is good. Here comes Flip Oracle of the Sun. Normal Summon Psychic Commander. Make Stardust Dragon. Attack. We've got Deprison. He's got Assault Mode activate. Bring out the Stardust Dragon Assault Mode. But he can't use this guy. He's going to attack over the Sirocco or else he dies because his life total is so low. So he's got to pass the turn. He can't activate this or else he'll just die to the Manju. So I have to summon the Manju. He has to let that resolve. We're able to add the Black Illusion Ritual. We pass the turn back. And at that point, he's able to take over the game, and we lost. So, unfortunately, we were just one card a little bit short of being able to close out that game into a very powerful and very scary threat. But it was very back and forth and pretty exciting. So, I'm excited for the next game. We've got DD Crows and Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer to help us deal with the resolved assault mode. And we've got a bunch of other ways to lock it out with the Jin as well. So, I'm going to summon Sonic Bird, grab Black Illusion Ritual, set some Deprisons, and pass the turn. I'm just playing like Heavy Storm doesn't exist. He's got Giant True Nade, so I'm like, alright. Fair enough. -1. And he does have the Endmaster to take over the situation, put a Stardust Dragon into play. He's going to grab the Oracle of the Sun, make Stardust Dragon, and he's going to be able to make a turn 1 Stardust Assault Mode against us, going second. So, yeah, pretty nasty. He's going to activate it right away, grab the Stardust Dragon Assault Mode, and I think that that's his biggest misplay. He should have forced us to deal with the Stardust Dragon, and then when we go to deal with the Stardust Dragon, that's when he uses the Assault Mode activate. He just might have been a little bit scared of us setting up the Relinquished play. So I'm going to normal summon the Manju, activate the effect. He's going to use the Stardust Assault Mode to negate that wisely, because if we get access to Relinquish, that is a forcing action. And we are going to be able to DD Crow now and banish the Stardust Assault Mode. Had we not had DD Crow, our game here would have been really different. Not exactly certain how we would have approached it, but yeah. Anyway, normal summon Shining Angel attacks. I'm going to try to Deprison, and he's going to try to book his Shining Angel. So that's annoying, but it is what it is. Not much I can do about that. I set the Sangan. He can attack on the Sangan. We can maybe try to find Jin and set up that. He's going to attack the set monster. I try to Deprison. He's got another book. So, multiple books being used. Main phase 2. What have you got for us? We draw into an Alchemist. Pretty nice. I just pass. I don't want to lure away my Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. It's too important. He attacks the Sangan. Sangan searches. Grabs the Jin. Passes back. We have Torrential. I set the Jin. Set the Torrential. Pass. He sacks for Oracle. He tells out the Commander. And here's where I hit him with the Torrential. I could have done it on Sack the Oracle, because I could have played around Starlight Road. Sometimes they play Starlight Road in this deck as a way to cheat out the Assault Mode like super easily, but I figured better make him have it. Turns out he didn't have it, so that's pretty nice. Passes a turn back, Allure of Darkness, going to banish second Kaiku found off the top. Here comes the Alchemist, activates, banishes another Jin, attacks for 1800, and we can finally start dealing damage. Set Solemn Judgment can prevent any sort of comeback play. We're up 5 cards to 3, and we're drawing into some pretty good stuff. So we got Manju, search the Relinquished. We can now Black Illusion Ritual, use the Jin from the grave, steal his set monster. He can no longer special summon, attack for 3200. This is a 2-turn clock if he doesn't stop it. Pass the turn back. He passes the turn back. We vanish the top card. It's Book of Moon. Another way to force Stardust Assault Mode is Book of Moon. He's got Mirror Force, and we've got Solemn Judgment to close that one out. So we were able to apply the pressure, stick a Jin, and use our key pieces of interaction to prevent him from getting his main combo off. However, this is different because we are going second, so this is going to be a lot more difficult. He's going to go for the Instant Fusion, bring out the Stardust Dragon, and grab the Assault Mode activate. So he's got the turn 1 Stardust Assault Mode for the second game in a row now, and we're going to have to beat that. It's going to be pretty hard. Unless we top deck something pretty good here. He sets 4 back row. I normal summon Sonic Bird. He lets us go to main phase. So kind of learning from the mistakes of last game, kind of forcing us to deal with the Stardust first. Activate the Sonic Bird. He chains Assault Mode activate. We grab Black Illusion Ritual. I set the Torrential Tribute and pass the turn. I'm actually in a pretty bad spot here. He's going to go ahead and crash the Shining Angel. That'll probably get him another Chaos Endmaster, like so. He'll attack for 3000. And 1500. So we take 1 billion damage, and I have 1 turn to top deck, and I do. Thankfully, we have 3 Book of Moons in the side. Thankfully, we have 3 DD Crows in the side. So we had a lot of cards we could top deck here, but we really needed to top deck, and lo and behold, we did. I go for Book of Moon. He's forced to activate. I go Black Illusion Ritual. He's got Solemn. I've got Manju to follow up and grab another Black Illusion Ritual. And then we can lock this down, use the Jinn, take the Chaos Endmaster, and attack for 1400. Because he used the Solemn Judgment, his life total is incredibly low. He has like maybe one turn to stop this. He's going to try to bring that back, but he can't because we used the Jinn and pass the turn back. At this point, we have 2 darks. We're still 1 dark shy of being able to use this Dark Arm Dragon, but our position is incredible. We have the Jinn lock, and we have Manju in play, so he's going to set a new back row. I'm just going to poke. I never need to play into Mirror Force with my Relinquished here. I've also got Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer, which is pretty nice. Funny enough for him is he did have the Iron Wall set up, so even if we had found DD Crow, it would not have worked. It had to be specifically a Book of Moon top deck that we had to hit, and we did. So pretty lucky, honestly. I can't complain. He's going to top deck Psychic Commander. Can't really attack into the Relinquished because then we just take the Commander and attack him for 1400. So he's just kind of stuck there. We're going to go ahead and attack. He's going to pay life points. The Relinquished is going to burn him. Main phase 2. I'm going to take his Psychic Commander. Set the Bottomless, pass the turn. He's got Giant Trunade. Very unique way to get out of the Relinquished Jinn lock because it bounces his monster back to his hand, but then there's nothing you can do. I mean, you can summon it, run over the Relinquished. Is there nothing you can do? Hold on. Why did he concede? He Trunades, summons it, runs over the Relinquished. What? Why did he concede? I'm forgetting this now. I don't remember him conceding here. He Trunades back the Psychic Commander. He normal summons that, runs over the Relinquished. I take 14. He can still activate the Psychic Commander to weaken the Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer enough to kill it. We would go to 3 darks. We'd be able to special summon Dad, but then he'd have Iron Wall if he preempted the Iron Wall. If he didn't preempt the Iron Wall, we'd be able to priority Dad pop his monster. And then we'd have Dad to his Iron Wall, and we'd have Torrential, I guess. I mean, it's a winning position for us. It's for sure a winning position for us. Even if he preempts the Iron Wall, I mean, we still get a stick Dark Arm Dragon, which is pretty fucking strong, so I can't really complain about that, but That's interesting. I wonder if he preempts the Iron Wall, am I supposed to not summon Dad main 2 and just set Torrential? And then if he finds another guy, he summons it, we Torrential. And if he doesn't find another guy, we take 14, then on our turn we drop Dad and we just win the game. Food for thought. Very interesting game. Lots of back and forth. But definitely don't leave your house without 3 Book of Moons in your Relinquished deck, or side deck, in this case, side deck, because I think it's a little bit better in the side deck, but you might be able to make an argument for like a Book of Moon over a Deep Prison or something like that. I don't fucking know. Let's get into the 5th replay. All right, that was a great game, though. Shout out to Bio Mike. I messaged him afterward and said how much I enjoyed playing that game, because that was a good one. I think he prematurely conceded a little bit, but this next one's up against Sakuru. He's going to start off with Solar Recharge, Pitch Wolf, Mill, DD Crow, and Gores, and then a second Solar Recharge, Pitch... Where did that Solar Recharge come from? Oh, he's starting off with 3 Wait. Solar Recharge, Pitch Wolf, Mill, DD Crow, and Gores. Yeah, okay. Then Solar Recharge, Pitch Gareth, Mill, Lila, and Raiko. And he's going to start with 4 names in the grave, and Allure of Darkness. So he's playing Twilight, and he's just opened the nuts, basically. Banishes Snipe Hunter, sets Raiko, sets Magic Cylinder, which is an interesting tech. I've seen people play this in Twilight before. Sets another back row. We have Heavy Storm. He's going to chain Dust Shoot, take the Sirocco. So kind of ugly, but it doesn't matter because Sirocco and Cyber Dragon are pretty superfluous. And then Raiko's going to pop Cyber Dragon, and we're going to set Bottomless and pass. He's got Lila. It's going to be met with Bottomless. He can summon JD if he has it. Doesn't have it. We've got Manju. We can summon that and grab the Black Illusion Ritual if we want to, but then we won't have a tribute fodder if we need to use it for comeback play. So I decided to actually hold the Manju in case he wants to go for a JD here, because if he goes for a JD or a Dad or a whatever here, then we can respond with Manju and then sack the Manju to the Black Illusion Ritual for Relinquished, even if we don't top deck a monster. He goes Monster Reincarnation, grab Lila, so this is really ugly for us. He's going to be able to pop the Dust Tornado for free. Pretty brutal. End-phase mills 3. He mills Honest, Dad, and so both Honest are now gone. Dad is gone, Gore's Tragger gone, and the main deck Crow are gone. But there still are 2 JD looming. We draw Bottomless Trap Hole, which is almost perfect. I decided to just set that. We can figure stuff out later. He's going to go 3rd recharge, pitch Celestia, draw 2, mill 2. He's going to mill Raikou Lila, sack the Lila for Caius. I'm going to chain the Bottomless Trap Hole, banishing the Caius. He's going to pass the turn back. Now that I found a monster that I can summon so that I still have a tribute fodder, I'm going to do that and start applying pressure. So Sonic Bird attacks for 1400. And despite him having the nuts, he still doesn't have JD in his hand. So I'm holding on to that, hopefully finding a Jin at some point. He's got Brain Control, take the Sonic Bird, Normal Plague, Synchro Nagoyo Guardian, attack for 28. And this is big pressure. He's also got the Plague in the Grave, which is really annoying for the comeback. I'm going to go ahead and summon Manju, which is going to go grab a second Relinquished here. I've got a Black Illusion Ritual, sack the Alchemist. I'm trying to set up for a potential put him below a certain life total type beat, but I'm not sure if this was the best way to do this. Even Alchemist plus Relinquish attack directly didn't put him below 1,000, so JD is still butchering us here. We attack for 28. He draws, he rips Pot of Avarice, but I mean, he had good draws. He had JDs, so about 1/3 of his deck were good draws, or 1/4 of his deck. He finds Arcus, he's going to attack into Relinquish, and I'm like, that is not what you want to happen, buddy. That is not what you want to happen. Bro doesn't know Relinquish effect, and he's at 1,600. He's going to use the Honest, and I'm like, alright, you lose. Oh no, wait, he doesn't lose. He takes 1,200. Now he can no longer activate JD. We can't steal his Arcus with Relinquish because targets, but by golly, I'm looking pretty happy now. Attack over the Arcus, which the Relinquish, pass back the turn. He's got Normal Summon Wolf. And I said cannot be Normal Summoner set. Returns the Wolf to his hand. Normal's Card Trooper. Mills 3, hits Plague, attacks the Manju. I could have summoned the Card Trooper knowing he had Wolf, but I figured this is funnier. He's going to stack for Plague, Synchro into Ally, pass the turn, Relinquish takes the Ally, and attacks directly for game. So no JD from the opponent despite opening triple recharge Allure, and we were able to take that game over, thanks to the opponent not really recognizing what the fuck was going on with the Relinquished burn damage. So sometimes people won't read the card. You're going to get a lot of people off guard with this deck. A lot of people aren't going to know what it is because a lot of people maybe haven't watched the glorious E3 Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Starts off with Solar Recharge again. Double Recharge again. Pitch Lila, draw 2, mill 2. Normal Jane, M-Phase, mill 2. Passes the turn back to us, and we draw Book of Moon. So this motherfucker just opens Solar Recharge like it's going out of style. Normal Sonic Bird, grab Black Illusion Ritual, activate the Allure of Darkness, banish one of my 2 Jins, attack the Jane. I say Declaration. He thumbs up. I go Book of Moon. He tries to chain Magic Cylinder, and I said Battle Step is after Declaration. So yeah, you can't actually Magic Cylinder except on that initial attack. He's gonna normal summon Lila here. We've got Bottomless Trap Hole to deal with that motherfucker. He's got Special JD, and I'm like, shit, that's rough. However, we do have the Jin, and we do have the Relinquished comeback play. It's just looking kind of ugly for us. Thankfully, he mills JD and Dad, so this is his last like big boy threat that isn't Chaos Sorcerer. And double, thankfully, we hit the second prep. So sometimes hitting second prep isn't bad, especially if the first one is your only setup piece. But generally speaking, you don't want to draw 2 of them. We're going to take the JD. We're going to actually just play into the cylinder. Fucking make him use it. Take 3,000. Main phase 2, activate the prep, deck thin a little bit. Grab the Black Illusion Ritual before he maybe gets a Crow. Set Sangan, pass the turn. Can't special summon Chaos Sorcerer because we use the Jin. So yeah, that can't be done. He's going to set a monster, pass back to us. We draw into Manju, which is a crazy card to draw. I'm going to activate that. Go grab Black Illusion Ritual. We can now use the Black Illusion Ritual, banishing the Djinn, and now we have a second Djinn lock set up. I'm going to flip Sangan here, attack for 5,400 with the Relinquished. You guys see why this card is so stupid. This Djinn card is so silly, so belligerent. It just makes it so your opponent can't play the game. And that's going to be all for the matches for today. Once again, sign up for RBET Santa Clara. You guys don't want to miss it. These are once-in-a-lifetime tournaments. I'm being dead-ass with that. These are the sickest mats. It's going to be the sickest experience. Collectors Expo is really fun. The Pomona one, the Los Angeles one, was a blast. I had one of the best times at a tournament I've ever had at Pomona. The Santa Clara one's going to be just as fun. So don't miss out on that. Sign up today before it's all sold out, because they do sell out, and people always hit me up. Literally every single time, people hit me up after they sell out. And go ahead and try out this Relinquished deck. Let me know what you think. Maybe mess around with the build. I found the most consistent results with this build. I played a bunch of other matches with it, trying to dial in this build. These were the 5 I played with this build. I think I might have played a couple other ones, but I have so many replays, sorting through them becomes a headache after a while. I'm going to try to get some paper stuff for members only with this deck, because the deck is so gorgeous, it feels a little bit lame to not get some paper matches with it. So hoping to get, fingers crossed, some paper matches sometime in the next week for members only. If you want to support the channel, it's $2.99. You know the vibes. And I'll see you guys in the next vid. That's pretty much it. Edison's still the best format, as always. Later, guys.